Hey, this is me, Brian. No, I'm not in jail. Sorry, Luke. Well, just because I don't make a video for a couple of weeks doesn't mean I went to jail, bro. You know that's some weird thinking out there. I don't, you know. Anyways, hey everybody, it's been a while. You know what I'm saying? We're doing pretty good. The farm's doing real good. Yeah. Anyways, right. The other day, Wednesday, right. Teresa's having her usual phone call with Joe, Joe Peroni, and then her therapist guy. You know what I'm saying? They got to talking about Roe v. Wade. Right? And Joe said, hey, you need to make a show, Brian. You know what I'm saying? You got a good opinion. We need to know. Right? Make a show. You know what I'm saying? That's Joe's terminology for posting a video. Because he has a lot of videos, and he's really good, and he's professional. If you haven't, looked him up yet, right? His name is Joe Peroni, right? The Rise Above Project, right? I'll try to remember to leave a link, you know what I'm saying, so that you guys can go check out his stuff, right? Anyways, all right, Joe. Roe v. Wade. There is no potential here. The implications of this are gigantic for humans, period. Women mostly, but humans in general, right, are going to be affected hugely by this in America. And now, let's give a little background here. Right? I've lived with Roe v. Wade for most of my life. Right? 1973, I believe it was, when the Supreme Court, decided the issue. Didn't so much legalize abortion, but they opened the door for abortion to be legal. Right? And then in the ensuing years, since then, you know what I'm saying, there have been a lot of states that have banned abortion. There have been a lot of states that have legalized abortion. You know what I'm saying? Because when it really comes down to it, you know what I'm saying, the real political power in America lies with the governors. Not the president, not the vice president, not the Speaker of the House, not the senators or the House of Republicans, you know what I'm saying? Right? It doesn't lie, the power does not lie with the federal government. It lies within the unity of the states and each individual governor of the state. They have the ultimate power over the laws and the implementation, you know what I'm saying, and the removal of the laws from each state. That's why as soon as the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, half of the states in America, I think it was 28 of them, right, you know what I'm saying, moved instantly to ban abortion. Bingo, because it's their choice. It's their choice. It's not, when it comes to law in America, it's the governors, right? I mean, all we get is a vote and a say. Oh, we don't want this, we want that. You know what I'm saying? Blah blah blah. Right. So ultimately, the power for this issue, social issue, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, lies in the hands of the governors. Now. This has huge implications on the way that women in America are now going to live their lives. Right? Because the Supreme Court of the United States of America, right, the highest court in the land, has decided, you know what I'm saying, that the Americans, that women in general no longer, right, control, right, their own choice over their own body. Now, it's a woman's choice whether to have a baby or to not have a baby. It's not a man's choice. The only part the man plays in it, right, is in the beginning, right, in the conception of the child, you know what I'm saying, and then the rearing of the child, you know what I'm saying, and getting them prepared, right, and ready for life as an adult, you know what I'm saying, right? The woman carries the child for 9 months, nurtures it, gives it life. And once it's born, she feeds it, you know what I'm saying? She raises it, she teaches it, she loves it, you know what I'm saying? Right? In the family unit, right? Okay? This is one of the American ideals. This is, the nuclear family, you know what I'm saying? A mom and a dad, 2 kids, a dog, a car, and a 2-car garage with a boat. You know what I'm saying? That was originally the American dream. you know what I'm saying, that Roe v. Wade kind of pushed aside. Right now, you know what I'm saying, the Supreme Court has put the matter back in the hands of the states, of the governors. You know what I'm saying? And but they still take out the choice of the woman, right, in this equation. Now, I have long believed, since 1973, maybe even before, with my mom and my grandmother, right? And then my grandmother was, she was a stout Jehovah's Witness, and she was a hard believer, right? You know what I'm saying? Right? That by no means should you ever abort a fetus, a baby, right? Because at the moment of conception is life. There is no gotta grow feet, or, you know, it doesn't have eyes. Nah. At the moment of conception, right? When that sperm and that egg join together and the egg split, life. Right? Now, this is not an easy choice to make for a woman. Right? Because essentially she knows, right, no matter what she believes, but essentially she knows that she's killing this child. That's a hard thing to live with, bro. Right? But I've always believed, you know what I'm saying, right, that it was her choice to do that. With or without my input. No, I've never been, you know, have to deal with this situation because, you know, in my previous life, when I was married and I had a family, right, all my children were born and raised. You know what I'm saying? Right? It doesn't matter what I think in this case about conception. That's a fact. What matters is, in my opinion, in my view, is that the woman has the right to choose. And since we all live in America, you know what I'm saying, and we all pay our taxes to support the government and its endeavors and its enterprises, I believe that the government should be responsible, you know what I'm saying, whether Roe v. Wade is overturned or not, whether abortion is legal or not. You know what I'm saying? The government should provide facilities, you know what I'm saying, for this medical procedure, right? What, you know, no matter what. Because remember, the federal government doesn't have a say in this. It's the courts and the governors and us. Right? Uncle Joe don't have a say. That's why I didn't say anything. Right? Trump don't got a say. That's why he had to say anything. That's why none of the top political leaders anywhere have said anything. It's just the mid-level and down to the people, because that's who this affects. Also, at the same time, and this is a problem we should be dealing with now, not debating for the future, right, is that they should also provide, you know, some type of facilities and plans for all of the children that are going to end up in foster care because of this, right? On top of all the children, all the millions of children that are already in foster care, right? You know what I'm saying? Because all of those women that chose not to have an abortion, see, you know, there's good and bad here on both sides. You know what I'm saying? But my point is conception. Still a human being. Right? You're not going to be one of those Facebook idiots that throws a bunch of baby kittens in a bag and videotapes themselves throwing it in the river, are you? But this is basically what the Supreme Court has settled it back down to. We went all the way back to 1972. You know what I'm saying? Where women were getting abortions with coat hangers and shit. Oh yes. Right? When you know, shady, you know, doctor people, they got a diploma in Grenada, you know what I'm saying, were doing abortions in the back room at the bar downtown. Women were trying to do it themselves. They were taking all kinds of crazy pills and stuff, you know, to try to get rid of the baby. You know what I'm saying? That leads me into this. You know what I'm saying? The only ones that are really going to make out in all of this is big pharmacy companies that produce the morning after pill, the how to get rid of your baby pill, the don't get pregnant pill, you know what I'm saying? And all this other, you know, pharmaceutical stuff that they're making billions off of, not just in America, but worldwide. You know what I'm saying? How many years ago was it now that the Catholic Church, you know what I'm saying, you know, they made, you know, the Pope came down and made, you know, a canon about this or that, and, you know, life and abortion and, you know, and conceptions and everything else, right? You know what I'm saying? Right? the Supreme Court has just ruined, right, the woman's life in America. I think so. Right? Because, well, it sounds to me like, Brian, like you don't give a fuck. Like, it doesn't affect you. It does affect me. It affects me hugely. Yesterday, when I was in my little part-time job, you know what I'm saying, I was talking to Joey, a young guy, you know what I'm saying, and I asked him, I said, hey, Joey, what do you think about Roe versus Wade and the Supreme Court and all that stuff? And he lit right into me, because Joey, right, even though he's only 20-something years old, he's a father. He's got 2 children. You know what I'm saying? And he works hard to support his kids. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sure, he's a typical, normal, young 20-something guy, and he's wild, and he's crazy, and he does stuff. You know what I'm saying? But he knows, right, that he's got to be there for his kids. You know what I'm saying? And this is what he said. He said, that's fucked up, man. They took away all some women's rights. You know what I'm saying? It's going to ruin everything. This is from a guy who's got children of his own. From the man's perspective, right, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't affect us. Because, we only play a small part in the actual conception of the child. Our part, dad's part, right, is the raising of the child. If you were man enough to conceive the child, then you're man enough to raise the child. That's this, it seems to me that this is what the Supreme Court is trying to say. That men should need to step up and take responsibility for their actions. Well, I've been saying that for years. Right? You know what I'm saying? I don't think this, this whole Roe versus Wade thing, I don't think it's so much. Wait a minute, let me rephrase that. It puts more pressure on the young generations, the men, the male part of the younger generations, the 30s, the 40-somethings, the 30-somethings, the 20-somethings. It puts more pressure on them. Because now they have to be more mindful about what they do. Now they have to be more, protective, right, of their life, right? Because now the 28 states that moved to ban abortion, and 4 or 5 of them have actually already gone 15 steps farther. And now, if you're a woman and you even attempt, right, to go find out anything about trying to get an abortion, you just committed a felony. You're liable to go to prison. Right? And I can see this coming down the road. That felony is going to be upgraded up until it's murder 1. Right? So does that drag the male partner? Does that drag them into the crime too? If this woman made her own choice on her own volition? Just simply because he was there when the conception happened? So that makes him an accessory to the crime. So now, right now, we're punishing 2 people. Right? That don't have a choice. See, Joe, there's way more, implications to this simple legal decision than anybody's, and they said that the Supreme Court judges, they've been debating this since 1973. It's taken them that long to decide which way they were going to go, and they finally decided that conception was the most important thing. Right? Now, this leads us, Joe, into another thing that I was reading about here that's directly related, and that's the separation of church and state. Now, this is written into the Constitution. Right? This is one of the bedrock cornerstones of American justice system and law, right? Is the Constitution, right? And it's not one of the amendments, bro. It's written directly into the Constitution. Right? So, the church has been saying this all along. Saying that abortion's bad, that it's evil, saying that you shouldn't be allowed, saying? It's not so much that the church has always tried to try to suppress the women's rights or nothing like that. Some have, right? But the Catholic Church, the Holy Roman See, they came out years ago and said, okay, we agree, the woman should be allowed to have her own choice. Right? We don't approve of it, but we don't stand against this anymore. Even the church has gotten a little progressive in this whole thing a few years ago and said, yeah, it's okay. Right? You know what I'm saying? But now we're dealing with all kinds of crazy stuff, when across the rainbow. right? You know what I'm saying? But the politicians about, you know, all the Democrats, all the social Democrats, all the socialists, you know what I'm saying, all of the, you know, right? They have allowed all this stuff to get so totally out of control, you know what I'm saying? That the whole Roe v. Wade thing, you know what I'm saying, it just turns it even up that much more upside down, right? So what should we do? You know, where you know, this is America. This is American law right here. If they can overturn this, they can, and over the ensuing years since 1973, there have been hundreds of billions of dollars spent on clinics, on counseling places, Planned Parenthood, all of this stuff that slowly over time, you know what I'm saying, they got bigger and bigger and bigger, you know what I'm saying, and more people, and it slowly over time kind of sort of became an institution within the healthcare industry in America, you know what I'm saying, and the technology's gotten better, the healthcare's gotten better, you know what I'm saying, the whole thing surrounding the issue of abortion, you know, the technology has moved forward, and now it's okay. You know what I mean? It's safe. You know what I'm saying? It's you know, don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Don't think that you're pro-life, Brian. No, I'm pro-choice. You know what I'm saying? I can't have a baby. You know what I'm saying? I can make one. You know what I'm saying? And yes, I'm still, you know, smart enough to know that I have to raise it as long as I live the rest of my life and provide for it and give it the opportunities that I had or had better in my life. You know what I'm saying? That's part of being an adult. That's part of being family. You know what I'm saying? If you choose to go down that path, right? But these jurists at the highest court in the land have decided, you know what I'm saying, that women no longer have the right to choose. Right? That means the governor's got the right to choose for them. That makes it just as bad. Right? Because you know what the governor's going to do? All those governors that don't like it, or all those people in those states that don't, you know, that don't approve of abortion, right? The women are going to start leaving those states to do whatever they need to do to go to another state. Just like here the other day, I was watching on the news, the governor of Nevada, Sisolak, he moved 2 or 3 steps forward, closer to allowing women from other states to have banned abortion to come to Nevada to get one. Now that opens a whole different can of worms, you know what I'm saying, and laws and more, you know, political crap and bullshit that's gonna make it crime. Crime's gonna run rampant. Right? Why? Because women are having abortions. Freedom. It comes with many choices, and a really high price for some of those choices, right? But I've said this in I don't know how many videos now, right? And Sam, if you value your freedom, right, you will stand up, right? You will wake up, and you will fight back for your freedom that they've already taken away from you, right? I'm as free as a bird out here in the nowhere, right? I've seen Deputy in a couple of weeks, right? And this is where I live at. You know what I'm saying? The last time I seen the Deputy a couple of weeks ago down at the Blue Star, you know what I'm saying? He knew who I was. Spoke to me by name. Good morning, Brian. How you doing? Right? The old me flashed instantly right there. Holy crap, cop knows my name. I need to leave this hood. Right? But the real bride said, hey, Deputy, what's going on? Good morning. Have a nice day. You understand? Because out here, you're responsible for yourself and the consequences of your own actions. Right? If the deputy's got to get involved, you did something really stupid. Right? And you probably deserve what you're going to get out of the deal. Freedom of choice is something worth fighting for. It's something that is a God-given inherent right as a human being, right? If we let them get by with this, God knows what's going to happen next. Across the rainbow. This me, Brian. What do you think about that one, Joe? I would like to hear some criticism, you know what I'm saying? Some comments. Because, as always, whenever I make one of these videos, I make these videos for the discussion factor, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know that there ain't very many people watch me anymore. You know what I'm saying? But hey, when I do make a video, right, you know what I'm saying, I try to involve you guys out there. See what you got to say about it all. Drop a comment. You know what I'm saying? You know what to do. Thank you.